Have you ever wondered about the profound depth of Surah Al-Fajr, the 89th chapter of the Quran? This chapter, nestled within the last Juz Amma, is a magnificent tapestry of divine wisdom, a testament to the infinite knowledge and compassion of our Creator. Surah Al-Fajr, aptly named the Dawn, is a beacon of light, illuminating the path for those seeking spiritual enlightenment. It is a Meccan surah, revealed during a time when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers faced relentless persecution. This surah served as both a soothing balm and a potent reminder of God's omnipotence and mercy in those turbulent times. The context of its revelation gives Surah Al-Fajr an added layer of depth, as it was revealed in a time of strife, yet it speaks so eloquently of peace and divine justice. Just as dawn breaks through the night, bringing light and clarity, Surah Al-Fajr breaks through the darkness of ignorance and disbelief, shining the light of divine wisdom onto the hearts of believers. The themes in this surah are profound and wide-ranging. It speaks of the day of judgment, a day of reckoning, when each soul will be held accountable for its deeds. It speaks of divine justice, assuring us that no deed, however small, goes unnoticed by our Creator and that every soul will receive its due. Yet, Surah Al-Fajr also reminds us of the transient nature of worldly life. It emphasizes that wealth and status, the pursuits that often consume our lives, are fleeting. They are but a test, and the true success lies not in accumulating worldly possessions, but in attaining the pleasure of our Creator. In the heart of Surah Al-Fajr, we find a comforting reassurance of divine justice, a gentle reminder of our priorities, and a beacon guiding us towards spiritual growth. This surah holds a mirror to our souls, urging us to introspect, to reflect, and to strive for a better, more spiritual self. Now, prepare to delve into the intricate verses of Surah Al-Fajr. The surah commences with an oath, a divine promise. But what are we being promised? Just as the dawn breaks the darkness, bringing forth a new day, the first verse of Surah Al-Fajr breaks the silence, setting the tone for what's to come. It speaks of the dawn, or Al-Fajr in Arabic, symbolizing the emergence of light and knowledge from the darkness of ignorance. Following this, the surah mentions the 10 nights. Scholars interpret this as the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, the 12th and final month in the Islamic calendar, a time of great significance and spiritual reward. Next, we find references to the even and the odd. This phrase has been subject to various interpretations. Some believe it refers to all of creation, since everything created is either paired or singular. Others see it as a reference to the prayers Muslims perform daily, the even units like the 4 rak'ahs of the Duhur prayer, and the odd ones like the single rak'ah of the Witr prayer. Finally, the surah speaks about the night when it departs. This could be a metaphor for the departure of ignorance when knowledge arrives, or a reference to the departure of life at death, reminding us of the transient nature of our earthly existence. Each verse in these opening lines is like a thread, weaving a tapestry of profound meaning. They are not merely words, but symbols and metaphors carrying layers of interpretation. They invite us to ponder, to reflect, to delve deeper into our understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos. They are a call to consciousness, a reminder of our transient existence, and a nudge towards the pursuit of knowledge. They are an invitation to witness the beauty of creation, the rhythm of life, and the balance inherent in the universe. As we journey through these verses, we are led to a heightened awareness of the divine, a closer connection with our Creator, and a deeper understanding of His wisdom and justice. These verses set the stage for a profound discourse on human nature and divine justice. What happens when we forget the divine and focus solely on the material? This profound question leads us into the heart of verses 6 through 14 of Surah Al-Fajr, the Dawn. These verses recount the tragic downfall of civilizations that chose to ignore divine commands. They were the nations of Ad and Thamud and Pharaoh, the owner of stakes. These civilizations had reached the pinnacle of power and prosperity, but in their arrogance, they denied the signs of the divine. The people of Ad were known for their mighty structures and vast cities, yet their power did not save them from divine punishment. Thamud, too, was a civilization of grandeur. They carved out homes in the mountains, showcasing their skills and creativity, but their achievements did not bring them closer to the divine. Rather, it led them down a path of arrogance and denial. Pharaoh, the owner of stakes, was another powerful ruler. His tyranny was well known, and he was unrelenting in his pursuit of power. He sought to challenge the divine, to elevate himself above God. But his arrogance was his downfall. These verses serve as a stark reminder of the transient nature of worldly success. They remind us that power, wealth, and achievements are fleeting. They can disappear as quickly as they come if they are not rooted in divine guidance and humility. In the context of contemporary society, these verses remind us to be wary of our own arrogance and greed. They caution us against the pursuit of power and wealth at the expense of our spiritual well-being. They urge us to remember that true success lies in our connection with the divine, in our humility and our willingness to submit to God's will. So let's reflect on these verses. Let's remember the civilizations of Ad, Thamud, and Pharaoh. Let's remember their arrogance, their greed, their downfall, and let's strive to avoid the same fate. These verses remind us of the consequences of arrogance and greed. Let's carry this lesson forward, remembering always to balance our worldly pursuits with our spiritual obligations. For in the end, it is not our material wealth that will save us, but our devotion to the divine. How does the divine respond to human arrogance and ignorance? We're delving into verses 15 to 20 of Surah Al-Fajr, and here we find a powerful discourse on divine justice. Often we find ourselves surrounded by individuals who, despite the bountiful blessings they receive, turn their backs on the signs of the Almighty, ungrateful and heedless. They reject His signs, they deny His blessings, they live their lives steeped in arrogance and ignorance. In these verses, we're shown a poignant reflection of divine justice. The verses tell us that when humankind is tested by their Lord with His bounties, they say, "My Lord has honored me." But when the same Lord tests them by restricting their provisions, they say, "My Lord has humiliated me." What an interesting contrast, isn't it? This is the human propensity for arrogance in the face of blessings, and the quick turn to despair when those blessings seem to diminish. But we must remember, these trials are not punishments, they are not humiliations. They are tests intended to bring us closer to our Creator, to remind us of our dependence on Him, not on the material world. The verses further unfold the divine response to such arrogance and ignorance. God says, "No, but you do not honor the orphan, and you do not encourage one another to feed the poor, and you devour inheritance with all greed, and you love wealth with immense love." These verses serve as a stark reminder to us. They highlight the contrast between divine justice and human arrogance. They call out the hypocrisy of those who feel honored by God's blessings, yet do not extend kindness and generosity to those less fortunate. They do not honor the orphan, they do not feed the poor, they hoard wealth and consume with greed. In these verses, we find a stark reminder of divine justice. They echo with a call to self-reflection, a call to acknowledge our blessings as tests, and to counter our human arrogance with humility, kindness, and generosity. So how will we respond to this divine call? What awaits us at the end of our earthly journey? Let's delve into the final verses of Surah Al-Fajr, which paint a vivid picture of the Day of Judgment. These verses, from 21 to 30, are a potent reminder of the inevitable realities that we as humans will face. They describe a day of immense upheaval, where the earth will be flattened, mountains will crumble, and deeds will be weighed with utmost precision. A day where no soul shall be wronged, and justice will be served in its purest form. This portrayal is not intended to incite fear, but rather to encourage mindfulness. It is a call to realize the transient nature of our worldly existence and the eternal significance of our actions. It emphasizes the importance of leading lives of righteousness, integrity, and compassion. The verses further illustrate the distinction between those who are at peace with their Creator and those who are not. They describe two different calls at the Day of Judgment, one to the soul at peace and another to the guilty soul. The soul at peace is invited to enter among His servants and His paradise, while the guilty soul is commanded to enter the blazing fire. This stark contrast is a powerful reminder that our actions in this life directly impact our station in the next. It underscores the concept of divine justice, where every action has a corresponding consequence, and no deed, however small, goes unnoticed. These verses are not just about the end of our earthly journey, but also about the journey itself. They serve as a blueprint for leading a life that aligns with divine principles and values. They invite us to cultivate qualities of compassion, humility, and justice in our interactions with others. These concluding verses serve as a sobering reminder of our ultimate accountability. They call upon us to reflect, to reassess our priorities, and to strive for a life of purpose and meaning. They remind us that the dawn of understanding awaits those who seek knowledge and wisdom, and that the divine promise is ever present for those who heed its call.